Welcome to everyone. Today we are driving into Netflix and Twitter, how to handle the massive data or the hundreds terabyte of daily data without melting their cluster. And we are going to explore the difference between Sharding and partitioning in Databricks and tricks it can be handled, running from 8 minutes to 8 second the query, right? So we are going through this one. Uh, Let me talk about the little bit some story. Let me share the story around the morning 2 a.m. Databricks cluster spotted and died right of middle of processing 2 terabyte of web scraping data. By morning, our dashboard was blank, our CFO was furious, and we had burned almost 15,000 in the cloud cost. That's when we learn, how you split your data can be difference between success and disaster. Okay, and let me walk through the some of the important point which I am going to cover. The billions raw problem is here, right? Why this is important to us is we have found a poor data distribution can triple your query and drive up the cost, cause the constant failure of jobs. Solving billions of problem critical to avoid this kind of pitfall, right? So this is very important. Now I'm going to talk about how Twitter served the data. So if you see this example, the Twitter the solve this by sorting by user ID, and user ID ranges each search cause the separate nodes. For example, user 1 go to node 1 and 0 to 25% of hashing ID, and user 2 go on 20 to 50% so on, right, and so forth. This gave 12x faster query and 60% cost reduction, plus if cert fails the whole system doesn't go down. So this is the code in PySpark has written. So here if you see the user ID, adding new column using the hashing, and then later on they partition by sub-id. Okay, so now the next thing is important. We are talking about Netflix use partition for different use case. They split data by time, category, and single database server. Each partition is like neat drawer, a specific chunk of data, making query faster and maintainable. So if you see in the example here, partition is view date, so it's doing like kind of vertical scaling, and each date has a chunk of data. This is how they are helping, and this is the code. If you see the performance gain is previously no partition, it might take 8.2 minutes, and after partitioning it took 11 seconds, right? Yeah, this is. Now let me talk about avoid the Fortune 500 mistakes, right? What mistake they made, so we should not. So Fortune 500 company tried to partition the 200 countries and ended up with the metadata nightmares, right? Because some country has less data, some have more data. By simplifying just 3 region partition, they reduce overhead and spend queries instantly. Now you can turn your try. So this is the problem, right? So they can turn and region and then do instead of use country. Okay, right, this is the database tricks, and this is the like when we use partition. If the size is more than 1 GB, then it's too small, too many flow slow. Basically, like if size is less than 1 GB, then don't go for Sharding. It's more than 10 GB, go with Sharding, something like that. So the 500 mistakes to be avoided, right, and how it can be avoided. So for that I'm talking about here. So for Fortune 500 partitioning, okay, this one we already talk, right, how the mistake we can make. So let me go through the next part. So it's your turn. Try some of example I have given you, copy or you run in GitHub. For those next level, right, you can try yourself, and I will go to some of the very important concept beyond the basic. G ordering and liquid clustering is very important in Databricks. For those ready for the next level Databricks clustering liquid G order is let's sort the data by the key column, multi-column query performance. Liquid clustering adopt the partition dynamically and reduce manually maintenance by 60%, cutting cloud cost 40%. So if you see here, order by or optimize. I think liquid clustering is this is way they can manage. You do. So if you see partition, it also reduce the time. G order also reduce the time. Liquid cluster reduce so much time, 60%, and you can try. And to wrap up this one, I would like to say sharding and horizontal scaling, as I said, and global distribution. Use partition for query optimization, and don't forget Databricks exclusive feature for the extra speed and cost. Resources, I have set the link here, right, where you can go. So if you like my article, please clap on Medium or subscribe YouTube channel and stay tuned for the next coming videos.